Hi all! Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. Morning, everybody. All right, we're going to start with the bad stuff and then move on to the good stuff at the end. And let me just say this from the beginning. I don't know how other people feel about things, but if you're always looking for the negative, you're going to find it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying that somebody didn't get their feelings hurt. That's all I'm saying. All right, let's jump in and cover the crap so we can get to the good stuff. We're going to go back to Sussexes, who put up this tweet, mixed feelings about yesterday's visit. 10 minutes after arrival, Lady SH approached me and started basically interrogating me. Where did I come from? And the answers I found to be interesting. You know, when you sit down and look at this transcript, it literally reads like a script. Like, seriously. What nationality are you? Where do your people really come from? She's asking where her origins are. There's nothing racist in that, but I find it interesting that she was able to recall this conversation piece by piece, word by word. Very interesting. Sussexes' page has her listed as being for women of African and Caribbean heritage. It doesn't simply say Black women. And she was wearing traditional clothing. And she willingly shared with The Guardian in an interview in 2020 that her parents came from Barbados. That's all she had to say. So it went viral, and immediately Buckingham Palace jumped right on it. And in the end, they found out it was like an 80-something-year-old lady who used to work for Queen Elizabeth for like 60 years. And she resigned and apologized. I don't think she even realized what she did that was wrong, because I don't see what she did that was wrong. So what did I tell you guys before? The internet is forever. So come to find out that Sussexes has been putting up tweets. You know, everybody's racially abusing Meghan. She accused the King and Queen Consort Camilla of committing domestic violence against Meghan, something that was proven to be absolutely untrue, I might add. Then people on Twitter, I love people on Twitter, they started digging a little deeper, and it was found out that this particular woman was also friends with Mason Harriman, which we know is the one who took the pregnancy photo on the iPad for Meghan Markle, and he's the one who supposedly took that picture of Lilibet at Frogmore, and he's such a good friend of Meghan Markle's. That's just a little too coincidental for me. You know what I'm saying? Well, then it gets worse. Then this tweet came forward that shows that she spoke to Mason Harriman directly. She has a direct link to him as well. Now, Mandu Reid is supposedly the one who witnessed the entire conversation. And wouldn't you know it, she's friends with Shouty Shola. Here is Shouty on the left and Mandu on the right in the glasses. Now, almost immediately since the revelations, both of them have been asking for donations for money, and Omid Scobie is helping Sussexes. So she's in contact with Omid. What does that tell you? Meghan Markle's mouthpiece. And Mandu also is asking for financials for, donations for help for her little space. I'm sorry, that's just a little bit too coincidental. Now, she then put out this tweet when somebody asked her why she didn't report it, and she goes, there was nobody to report it to. I couldn't have reported it to the Queen. Plus, it was such a shock to me and the other two women. We were stunned into temporary silence. I just stood at the edge of the room, smiled, and engaged briefly with those who spoke to me until I could leave. Watch this. So did I miss something? She's standing in the middle of the room, looks like she's having a ball. She stood there and spoke to the Queen directly. She didn't say a word. I love how the Caribbean prince put it. It looks like she was having a whale of a time, and that picture was taken after the Queen's speech and near the end of the event. I have to agree with Evans Einstein here. There were at least 100 Black women at that event. But it just happens that the two who openly support Meghan Markle and accuse the royal family of domestic violence and racism found a conversational racist? And I completely agree with this Twitter user. The fact that this woman was even invited after the insulting tweet she posted about the royal family in the past is proof that the comments about the royal institution being racist don't make any sense. Ava's comment really grabbed me. She was proud enough to turn up an African Caribbean dress, but then she was wounded when an elderly lady showed an interest in her roots and her cultural heritage. She took an innocent question and she used it to race bait. Exactly, spot on. Then Sister Space tweeted, "Thank you everyone for your support. We do not wish to reveal the person involved. It's the system that needs revising. Yes, the person was offensive, but it serves no purpose to name and shame, and it would make us just as bad." You are just as bad because she was named, shamed, and forced to resign from a position that she had for over 60 years. It wasn't racial, and you know it. That's why you had mixed feelings about it. Now, in a final slap to the royal family, she puts up this little thing that lets you know that she delivers cultural competency and anti-racism training. And she would like to return to Buckingham Palace to oversee the training there. Personally, and I said this in my other video, I'm going to say it again, invite her back and question her on the tweet she put up where she claimed that the king and queen had been physically violent with Meghan Markle. I would love to see that. And to finish off this topic, I agree with this Twitter user who said that the worst racism in recent history in the UK involved a certain prince wearing a swastika and racially abusing ethnic minority soldiers. But this bandwagon hack focuses on destroying the life of an 83-year-old woman who resigned and apologized, something Markle's husband didn't do. And of course, by the next day, she was making the rounds on morning television. Yes, You know, everybody's heard her side. I'd like to hear the other side. Oh, wait, no, I can't because she canceled them. You know who she didn't silence? This person who said she went to Sista to ask for help and was told no because she was mixed race and she had privilege. And then Elizabeth was threatened that if she posted about it, Sista was going to take legal action against her. This woman accuses Sista of being a bully and that she only treats certain people a certain way. I can believe that. So here's what I know. Harry and Meghan look like fools accepting this Ripple of Hope award for structural racism in the family. Racism that hasn't been proven. Everybody's made a joke out of them. And this woman who has ties to Meghan Markle's best friend photographer, she has ties to Shouty Shola, suddenly goes in, finds somebody, has this conversation, supposedly, puts it out on the internet, then tries to back it up to make herself look good. But at the same time, she put the stamp of approval on Meghan's award. This was a setup. I'd also just like to add that I don't like liars. She said she was in the corner of the room. She wasn't. She said on Jeremy Vine today she's never tweeted about Meghan Markle. Obviously, that's a lie, so she's completely untrustworthy. She also said on the morning news that the palace had not reached out to her, and come to find out that was a lie. They've reached out to her 5-6 different ways. She just hasn't responded. And now the Queen's lady-in-waiting, Miss Hussey, has offered to speak with her directly. Let's see what happens, shall we? Nigel Farage said that that woman was a racism victim looking for trouble. I agree. He had a lot to say. Listen to this.
In the end, it turns out that Ngozi Fulani, who is a British citizen, although of African heritage and still displaying African culture, it turns out she said she felt she'd been denied her nationality in what was seen to be an outright racist assault. So who is Ngozi Fulani? Well, I tell you, she helps run a charity. The charity is called Sister Space. Let me read you their mission statement. Our charity supports black women domestic violence survivors. So if you're white, don't apply. And she says, I admire Meghan for speaking out. According to clear definition, it seems Meghan is a survivor of domestic violence from her in-laws. This was in 2021. She then goes on to say about the Jubilee, Harry and Meghan won't be allowed on the balcony. It is an exclusively white balcony. The only black people are banned. This is racism. Add to that her organisation has been funded by Black Lives Matter. Do you know what's worst of all? There's a full transcript of that conversation with Lady Hussey. She clearly had a tape recorder on her as well. And my view is rather than an 83-year-old woman being thrown to the wolves for doing nothing more than trying to make small talk, polite conversation at a cocktail party, my view is that Fulani planned this right from the very start. She's an anti-royal, anti-British Marxist, and it's quite wrong what has happened in the last 24 hours. Now,
You know, I think anybody with half a brain could see what happened here. Now, talking about Markle's husband, H, we don't say his name anymore. We're going to follow her lead. It's H. H and Markle continue to try to steal the spotlight. They put out a promo for the next Invictus Games 2023, and it shows Harry trying to play ping pong. I'm sure there's another promo with Meghan in it because, she's taking over his Invictus Games. It's not working. Nobody's paying any attention to them. I know that's just chapping somebody's tush. Also, in an attempt to grab the attention, Netflix went ahead and dropped the teaser for their love story that's going to be released on the 8th, and you got a bunch of stupid, cheesy pictures. Obviously scripted and staged, we know the directors. And then they go back to the me you can't see, and here's Harry. I did everything I could for my family. And now they're once again, the press, they're bringing up the press and how intrusive. It's the same old victim story, you guys. Same old story, don't bother. And we knew she was going to attack the royal family. They were going to attack, here you go, a glaring photo of the Princess of Wales. Yes, I think you're going to see in this documentary of their love story that they're going to lay a lot of the blame on their leaving at Catherine's doorstep. A big thank you to Countess Commonwealth for this photo. Do you see this picture? Look at the numbers below. People aren't liking what's going on. Now, this is supposedly a moment of Meghan just crying, unscripted. Really? The perfectly folded blanket next to her, the perfectly, laid out table next to her. Does that blanket look familiar? Yes, there it is. Perfectly folded next to her on the 40 by 40 initiative where she was merching it. Guys, this is such a setup. And by the way, she's obviously on social media. Look, here I am. I'm really pregnant. No, that could still be a fake baby bump. And that's with Lily. I would like to see a pregnancy picture from Archie, a real pregnancy photo. Let's see that belly. Almost every pregnant woman shows her belly and has a picture taken. I did. Let's see a picture from the birth. Let's see something. Until then, you're still a liar, and you're not changing my mind. Now, it came to my attention, and I had to point out that a lot of the photos that are being used were taken behind the scenes. Like, for instance, look at this photo and look at the next photo. These were taken, in case you don't recognize it, March of 2020 at their last event at the Royal Albert Hall, and they didn't sign to Netflix until September of 2020. So who's taking those photos and why? Pictures like this, taken behind the scenes at Buckingham Palace. That's the back entrance to the gardens. Who's taking those pictures and why? Why were they taping things before they had even signed a deal with anybody? Why were they doing that? Obviously, they knew they were going. Now, it's coming out that the royal family made it very clear that they were not going to be in Meghan and Harry's Netflix documentary. That's why the Queen wouldn't allow a photo with her and the daughter, because she knew it would end up in this docuseries. But guess what? They threw Kate in it anyway. Here comes Omid Scobie. If tomorrow is Prince William's Super Bowl, then here's your halftime show. And he put up a picture of the Netflix documentary trailer. Here it is. That picture looks familiar. The one on the right? Let me look a little closer. Yeah, I've seen this before. Where have I seen this before? Oh, here you go. That's right, with her other boyfriend, because she's a one-trick pony. Even the New York Post is calling their Kiss and Tell reality series a victimhood fest, guys. Because could you imagine going on and on about your privacy, doing this show, preaching compassion while you're trashing your family, and then releasing the trailer deliberately to try to ruin your brother's trip to the United States? Because that's what's going on here. Oh, one more little thing. While here comes William and Catherine on a commercial jet from across the pond, and they're working on the Earthshot Prize, and here's Meghan taking a private jet from California to Indianapolis for this thing that she did, and then back again. If you have any doubts, watch this. Yup. Eco warriors, Harry and Meghan. Right. All right, let's move on to the real eco warriors now, shall we? All right, so now we're going to go back to the regular royals, the real royals. Here we go. It's Explore Your Archive Week, Day 3. In 1986, General Sir Probyn wrote to Queen Victoria expressing his gratitude for his appointment as the Grand Cross of the Royal Victorian Order. Love it. All right, next up we have King Charles, who went with the First Lady of the Ukraine to officially open the new Welcome Center at the Ukrainian Catholic Cathedral in London. They met staff, volunteers, and displaced families from Ukraine. The First Lady said, and I'm quoting, "Great countries are measured by great humanity, convinced once again that Ukrainians are welcomed by friends whose welcome is sincere." I love that. All right, next up, Sophie and Edward, the Earl and Countess of Wessex and Beaufort, went to the Royal Variety Show, and they were presented with the programs and foliage picked this morning from the garden at Brinsworth House. And then Sophie and Edward met resident Joan Williams. She photographed Queen Elizabeth and the family for the landmark BBC documentary Royal Family. And her images from that time are held in the London collection. Very nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, William and Catherine flew over on a commercial jet because they actually are the eco warriors that want to repair the planet. Now, somebody on board the plane managed to snap a couple of pictures of William and Catherine. Catherine looks a little upset in one of the photos. I'm sure she was just being notified about what had taken place with, poor Sarah Hussey. Terrible. Anyway, apparently people on the plane were very respectful. Everybody's talking about the fact that they flew commercial. I myself would have been one of those crazy stalker people. If I'd been on that flight, I would have been like slipping him a note going, "Here, watch my channel. Call me. I'll give you the American perspective." Security would have been like, "Back up." So, yeah, they arrived. People were so happy to see them. The real royals. Here they come. Catherine looked, this purple outfit she was wearing. By the way, everything that she wore, shoes, outfit, shirt, was all a rewear. So the outfits didn't cost any money for the tour. Now, everybody was going on about how nice and relaxed she looked. Obviously, between the plane and the, when they met the people, obviously they took her somewhere. She changed clothes and she had makeup on. They landed at Logan International Airport and they were welcomed by First Lady Lauren Baker and Governor Charlie Baker. I know this is going to sound stupid, but I'm shocked that she really is that pretty in person. Ugh. Anyway, William released a statement about his grandmother as soon as he touched down. It was very touching. And he thanked Boston and everybody in Massachusetts for their tributes paid to the Queen, and that she always remembered her 1976 visit there with great fondness. He said she was a great optimist. He also is. And he thanked everybody for allowing them to travel there for the Earthshot Prize. They were then led out of the terminal to head to the cars. And just for anybody who's interested, again, this is a rear wear. There's nothing new on here. She's wearing a $3,000 midnight blue suit by Alexander McQueen. It looks purple to me. And she was wearing Princess Diana's earrings. How lovely. What a nice touch. Then they go and get in the motorcade. Now, this is the kind of motorcade that I think Meghan wanted. She and Harry wanted. In their dreams. Look at this. That, my friends, is a royal motorcade. That's taking them. I believe first they went to the hotel before they went to meet the mayor and do all that stuff. But look at that. Yeah, that is a royal motorcade. Yeah. Yeah, that was a motorcade, let me tell you. Okay, so remember I showed you this in the other video. This is their itinerary. What wasn't on the itinerary? There was one thing they did that wasn't on the itinerary, but we'll cover that in a minute. So let me tell you, the crowds were standing around in the rain. Nobody cared. People were crushing in there. The crowds were huge. I love the umbrellas there. Little kids making signs. It was so wonderful. And of course, the Office of Economic Opportunity was out there holding up their flag. They're so happy to welcome them. Yes, I bet they were. Everybody was. Look at the crowds. Now remember, it was typical Boston weather. It was horrible raining. All right, so William and Catherine go in and they meet Mayor Wu and her husband and her children at the building that they were going to be lighting up. I believe it was the City Hall. I'll be double checking that in a minute. But here's a little snippet for you. Doesn't she look lovely in that dress? Yeah. That's what happens when you're 5'9" and thin as a rail. Okay, anyway, it came time to go out and, umbrellas, and here's a snippet for you. Here it is from another angle. Watch this. Here's just a little snippet to show you guys the crowds. Look at that. Wow, people just love them. So the two of them are standing out there smiling, and the woman walks up to the podium to give a statement, and people won't stop. She can't get a word out. Watch this.
Well, good evening, Boston.
Finally, Mayor Wu steps up to introduce William. Here you go.
And to our great city, the founder of the Earthshot Prize, His Royal Highness, the Prince of Wales.
Thank you, Mayor Wu. And may I say thank you to all the hardy Bostonians braving the rain this evening.
And man, was it raining. I mean, look at that. It wasn't just a little drizzle. It was downpouring. People didn't care. Okay, then William finished up his speech. Listen to this.
And we are both looking forward to spending the next few days learning about the innovative ways the people of Massachusetts are tackling climate change. Thank you.
Then he walked back, and Mayor Wu went up to the podium. You have to watch this.
We need everyone's help to make this special button work. So we're all going to count down from 5 together. Ready? 5, 4.
She then went back over to the podium. They all put their hands on the magic button, and at the end of the countdown, they hit the button, and the building lit up green for the Earthshot Prize. How nice is that? And of course, you know, you look at Catherine, she looked so natural, so carefree, so unpretentious. You know what I mean? All right. Then it was time to leave, and here's a little snippet of them leaving. Watch this. So what happened after that? They went to a basketball game at the Garden. I don't remember seeing that on their itinerary. Maybe I just missed it. So Catherine changed clothes and they're walking in. And by the way, the Celtics changed their color to green just for the Earthshot Prize, which I thought was a super nice touch. Now, I had to remove the sound from the videos because it would have been, guess what? A copyright infringement. Because there was music playing, pop music playing in the background. Anyway, they got courtside seats. He got introduced to the owner of the Celtics, and you know they're shaking hands and they're standing there taking pictures. They're doing everything that they're supposed to be doing, and then they sat down in their seats and began to watch the game. They looked like they were having a really, really good time. Although I don't think. Okay, maybe I'm wrong on this. I don't think they understood the game per se because they didn't understand it in 2014 when they were there. I don't think they understood it any more than that. But obviously, they're really enjoying themselves. It was a nice cap to the end of the night, but a surprise because the Celtics game was not on the itinerary that had been put out as something that they were going to do. Maybe this was meant to be kept as a surprise. Who knows? Good evening, everybody. Okay, I wanted to end this video by literally sending out a message to the royal family. The don't complain, don't explain mantra isn't going to work anymore. You guys need to explain, tell your side, show Harry and Meghan for the liars that they are, release the bullying report, strip them of their titles, remove Harry from the line of succession, remove his children from the line of succession, cut ties, because until you do, this is never going to stop. It's just going to go on and on and on. This was a complete setup. We all know it was a setup. We all saw it coming. Harry and Meghan are like cats scratching at the door, you know, putting out, you know, the Invictus games and then the Netflix documentary and then having this happen and then, you know, the SmartWorks bags. And they're trying to pull the attention away from the importance of your visit. It's enough. With the, I'm not going to take any action. It's enough. It's not going to work that way anymore. This is the age of social media. You guys really need to step it up. That's all I have to say. All right, guys, I'll be back tomorrow with day 2 of the fabulous Boston tour. Don't forget to leave those comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell. If you've already hit the button, double check and make sure you're still subscribed. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter, Getter, Rumble. You can email me. All the links are up in the description box, as well as the link to my Patreon account. For those of you who've donated to my coffee fund and through the thanks button, thank you so much. And as always, have a great day.